Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We're here with our brother Wesley, who is going to be telling us about how he came to Islam and how he came to embrace the faith of Islam. So we're just going to be asking him a few questions, inshallah. So first of all, just tell us a little bit about your background before Islam.
Alright, my background before Islam, I came from America. I was born in Connecticut and moved at an early age, 2 years old, to Massachusetts. So I spent most of my time in the Boston area. I moved around to about 3 different cities. And at a very early age, as soon as I can remember, although I had originally believed in God, I quickly converted to atheism. And the first thing that happened was everyone who believed in God began to, they were very angry at me. The little kids at the bus actually started picking on me and tried to throw whatever they had at me. So I literally became an enemy to God from a very young age as a child. Yeah, unfortunately, subhanallah. But at the same time, because of that, I felt like I had to justify my position. So throughout my entire middle school, elementary school, high school, I was always thinking and trying to understand the deepest meaning of things.
Right.
My aunt once said that she had more intelligent conversations with me when I was 9 years old than she did with her husband, who was 35. So when I was in high school, at about senior year, I took a philosophy course, and I was pumped for it. And the book was great, and it introduced me to all these different religions and ideas, but the teacher didn't teach anything. So I had to research it myself. And so before Islam, I was basically known as the philosopher of the group.
Right.
Inshallah.
And so how long ago did you accept the faith of Islam?
I tried to accept the faith of Islam, I think, I'm at college for 2 years now, so I think a couple years ago, but I was so ignorant that I tried to take the Shahada myself. I didn't know that you had to follow certain things like the 5 pillars and whatnot, but I really actually took the Shahada and began practicing my faith the end of this Ramadan, about 5 months ago.
MashaAllah. Okay. And how did you first hear about Islam? How did you first hear about Islam?
First heard about Islam, I always heard about it a little bit, in movies and whatnot. And I don't know why, but I always rooted for the Muslims. Even when I watched Kingdom of Heaven, if any of you have seen that before.
Okay.
But I really came across Islam when I was in the library. And I went to the same section where the philosophy for dummies was that I had picked up.
Right.
And I found the Quran. And I just, for some reason, I loved the way it was put together. Started to read it. And from then on out, I've been researching Islam for the rest of my life up until now.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. And what was it about Islam? What caused you to accept the faith of Islam? What was it that pushed you to enter Islam?
Well, even when I first read it, I was practically an atheist. If I ever heard anything like, God is great or whatnot, even though at that moment I was trying to be open-minded, it still kind of, made my stomach turn over. But when I read the Quran in a modern English translation, I couldn't deny anything. Everything that it said was either true or beautiful.
Subhanallah. So basically that was your first, so finding the Quran, finding the English translation.
Finding the Quran, reading the Quran, but then after that I had a series of, I guess you could say, major signs in my life that made me have stronger and stronger faith progressively. And finally, when I was, at one point I got a copy of stuff about the Sharia. And as I read the Sharia, I realized every single problem that I've seen in society was solved by it. So I couldn't deny.
So we want to know, what sort of positive changes have you seen in your life as a result of Islam, and what can you tell us?
Before Islam, when I was in college, I went through a period where I hit a very deep depression. I saw everything around me, these people, and I would constantly ask the questions, especially to my professors, because I figured, they're the most intelligent people. They're trying to bring up new generations. They must know.
They must have all the answers.
They must know what's good, what is the purpose of life, all this. How did it all get here? Why is it here? Why is it like this? So I asked them, and they couldn't answer anything. They couldn't even answer what is goodness or what is truth. So I thought, wow, everyone's talking, but nobody knows.
Right.
And I felt like I couldn't get out, So when I came to Islam, everything was answered, everything was solved. And even the people, when I was in the temple as a Buddhist monk, which I was for, I was practicing Buddhism for about a year and a half before that, and then I actually went into the temple for roughly half a year before I converted to Islam. I converted to Islam while I was part of the temple. And in there, all the highest sages and monks, they had wisdom almost the same as people who were practicing their Islam just enough.
Right.
So even the people are amazing in Islam.
It's really amazing. And what is the most important thing you want people to know about Islam?
What I really would like people to know about Islam is for anyone who believes in God and who believes that God is truly glorious, that if you investigate Islam, you will see it is a religion where people actually take their purpose of life to be the worship of God. Anyone who truly believes in God, truly loves God, and truly wants to worship God, if you read the Quran, if you learn about the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, you will find you have to convert to Islam in your own heart. That's what I would like people to know.
MashaAllah. So what other extra advice would you give to people who are seeking the truth, seeking guidance, looking for answers? What additional...
One good thing I say, a piece of advice for anyone looking for the answers, is that if you can keep an open mind and a soft heart, and don't stop at any particular point, really seek what the deepest answers are, and look for a religion that is consistent with these deeper answers. Because ultimately you're going to have to go to a religion if you want to know what the purpose of life is. No other group can. And if you do that, well, whatever beliefs you have, I guarantee you, I bear witness that you will find Islam. And you will love it.
Inshallah, there you have it. Thank you, Brother Wesley. And may Allah guide us and grant us good in this life and in the hereafter.
Ameen.
And Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.